Innovation Council.
And I am Gitanjali Chauhan on the behalf of iHub Education Cell of Shaheed Rajguru College of Applied Science for Women, University of Delhi. Would like to extend our profound and earnest welcome to Mr. Deepak Rustagi, the speaker for today's webinar. We should also like to extend a wholehearted welcome to our esteemed principal ma'am, Dr. Payal Mago, the president of IIC and iHub Education Cell, Dr. Ranjana Singh. We would like to extend our sincere and heartfelt welcome to all scholarly and knowledgeable teachers and to all the thoughtful and attentive audience present here. We are truly humbled beyond measure for such an overwhelming response.
Travis Kalanick has rightly said that every problem has a solution. You just have to be creative enough to find it. Ideation, creating and formulating new ideas with creative approach and structured brainstorming and prototyping. It aligns you with the right problem to pick and how to solve it. Problem solving is a skill with paramount importance and for managerial and other senior level roles in any industry or a company. Employers search for new hires who demonstrate problem solving skills. Stating problem solving skills isn't enough in your resume. You need to clarify exactly what sorts of problem solving skills at which you excel and show specific samples of how you have utilized and these skills and in past positions. But you have ever wondered how one can approach and familiarize with these skills and hone them? No worries, Institutions Innovation Councils, in collaboration with iHub of Shaheed Rajguru College, brings you to an amazing session on problem solving and ideation workshop with the help of our guest speaker, Mr. Deepak Rustagi.
We are glad to have Mr. Deepak Rustagi as our speaker for today's session. Sir is co-founder of SPARC Corporate Consultants and co-founder of XPERCO Solution Private Limited. He helped organizations to combat and overcome farming, problem solving challenges and improving production life challenges, customer experiences. We would now like to welcome Mr. Deepak Rustagi, who will enlighten us about problem solving and the basics of ideation, so as to add the knowledge for upgrading your skill set. So, sir.
Thanks, Gitanjali. Thanks, Shivani. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, I'll try to make this as a conversation rather than a webinar. Reason being, problem solving is not a. I can teach you the problem solving without listening to you guys, that what you guys are thinking on how to solve these things. Okay. So I'll start my session with, does anyone know what's the full form of my company, SPARC? Can anyone guess? Or it is just a name you guys are thinking? Anyone wants to guess that? It's system, people, process always require change. And why I have picked up this system, people, process? For an organization, what are the 3 key pillars you need to run an organization? Do you need people to serve your customers? And do you need systems in place? And when I'm using a word system, that might be requiring a flow of information, handing over the pieces of work, how you are executing your job. Systems are required, and then processes. So all 3 things are the utmost importance to run any organization. And when I'm using a word change, how do you guys think that a change is also a part of a problem solving? Because that's the first thing which people might misinterpret, that okay, change is not a problem solving. The first problem which you face is always decision, because always you guys have many ideas in your mind. The biggest problem you guys hit with, which is the good solution to go ahead with. So that's also a problem. So now let's start the session. So Gitanjali, can I share my screen?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So are you guys are able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. So when I start a session normally in a problem solving, I'll always talk about lean, and I don't know how many of you are aware of lean. And these days, all organizations are talking about lean. If anyone wants to guess, they can write it in a chat box. If there are too many participants, I'll request people to just be little vigilant in writing their comments in the chat box. And if you think that speaking out is a better way, then I'll recommend that you can just speak out. So lean is something which improves your speed. Lean is something which improves your speed. And I'll start normally a session with continuous improvement. So what do you think on continuous improvement? Continuously improving something. And it's a very basic word. Let's start the session with the one problem I want you guys to solve for me, because when we are doing a session on problem solving, without solving a problem, it's a waste. If I will be your customer and you have sold me a car, after 6 months I'm coming back to you guys and saying my car didn't start whenever I buy any other ice cream than vanilla. Can you solve my problem? Any one of you? Do you want me to repeat the problem?
Yes.
Okay. You have sold me a car. After 6 months, I have again come back to you saying that my car didn't start whenever I buy any ice cream other than vanilla. Solve the problem. And that's how the customer raises a problem. How will you solve this problem for me?
Can I take a try?
Yeah, yeah.
Personally, I would, in my first instinct would be to say that it is stupid the way he's saying it. But since he's a customer and I need to respect him, so therefore I would firstly check out all the engines and all the transmission systems so that whether there really is a problem, and it coincidentally happens that every time he buys any other ice cream other than vanilla, it is not starting. So I would firstly check the systems, because
Mm-hmm.
it could be a coincidence which he might be thinking is reality.
Mm-hmm.
If we keep the customer first, we
Mm-hmm.
would try to check that if there really is no problem, I would personally go and buy him any other ice cream other than vanilla and get it to him and make him start the vehicle then and there.
Mm-hmm. So that means if I buy, so you recommend a customer that don't buy vanilla ice cream or only
No,
buy
I
vanilla
won't.
ice cream because
No, I will go personally and buy any ice cream other than vanilla and show him that it starts even without vanilla ice
okay,
cream.
okay. So I'll tell you the what is the because this problem cannot be solved by sitting in a room, and that's the key of any problem solving. Don't sit in a room. Go to the real place. We call that as Gemba. Okay, Gemba. So if you Google that is, it's a Japanese word for workplace. So wherever the problems are occurring, please always try to visit those places, whether virtually, whether in person. It's always advisable because the same thing happened. This is a real story from Porsche car in Middle East, and the customer has actually reported this as a problem. And the solution was not identified by any person sitting in Europe. They have done all the techniques. They have teared down the engine. They have recommended all everything when they send it to the workshop. There is no problem. The problem actually arises when they visit the real location where customer is buying the ice cream, and this was the shack from where the customer is buying the ice cream. Okay, and customer normally parks the car here. When customer goes and buy the vanilla ice cream, the return time is less than 5 minutes. Okay, and why? Because the vanilla ice cream is always in off the shelf in front of the counter. Whenever customer buy any other ice cream, the staff has to go to the back side to the refrigerator and come back, which is taking greater than 5 minutes. So the problem is that whenever customer leaves the ignition on, there is a carburetor problem, and after 5 minutes, because of the heating, airlock will come. And when air will go into the engine, what will happen? Only air, no fuel. Will your car run?
No. No, sir.
So do you think now customer was wrong?
No, sir.
No, sir.
But root cause was not there, I agree. But this is how customers or your peers report the problem based on the symptoms those guys are seeing. So it is very important to analyze the symptoms. I can tell you n number of stories with my experience during my tenure with IBM Australia. I've been asked to visit their one of the client telecom giant in Australia. I don't know how many of you know. Telstra is the telecom giant there, and exactly 2 o'clock, one of their server went down. Exactly 2 o'clock, one of their server in data center went down. How will you solve this problem? Take a guess. Tell me some of the root causes which you guys think can be the potential root cause. And this is how you need to run a problem solving workshop. Don't stop and tell me that, okay, Deepak, we will come back to you with root causes. Start brainstorming. There can be that, okay, one of the idea might stick to the problem. 2 o'clock, one of that server in data center goes down. Not all. How will you solve that problem?
Sir, we'll check the connection of the server first.
And
It might be possible that the server is connected from a different VPN or which is not the
very
case
good.
with all the other servers.
Very good.
And then go for checking the particular VPN to which that particular server is connected and what is
Hmm.
wrong with it at
Hmm.
exactly 2 a.m. or p.m. whatever
Okay,
the time
so
is.
for that you need a log file. I have given you the log file. After analysis of the log file, you will find all the servers are connected to same VPN and there is no power issue and there is no heating issue for the data center. Aircon is working fine because all other servers are working except one server. What else you need now from me? Because if I am a customer, you're asking me, Deepak, can you share this data with me? So I have given you a log file, but there is no issue we have identified. Another root cause.
Sir, how long that particular computer has been used?
So again, you need a log file for that because you want to see the utilization of CPU and memory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
I have
sir.
given you
Yes,
the
sir.
log file. I have given you the log file. The load is uniformly distributed on the server. All servers are uniformly distributed.
So the location of the computer.
Possible. You might be reaching to the root cause. Tell me, what do you want to know? It's there in between, actually, exactly in between all the servers. Suppose if this is your data center, the server which went down is here somewhere. So all the servers are like racks are put up here. And I'll tell you that these things are nothing to do with technology. It's just a simple brainstorming. You have to go see the real problem and brainstorm what could be the possibility. So first, as I think the first person who just tried to solve the car problem has done the right approach. He started breaking down the components of the input or components of the situation, like engine. So at least if he sees the engine, if he start buying the ice cream, started doing experimentation, failing and passing might lead to a solution. And that's a good approach. Same thing you guys need to do here. First, reach to the place, because without going there, even without going there, I was not able to find that's a architectural flaw of the building, that there was a glass window exactly on the top of this server. 2 o'clock, directly the sun rays are concentrated on this particular server, heating up this CPU. There is nothing as a IT design problem. And everyone was thinking that it's a IT issue. It's a building architectural issue. You cannot have windows in a data center. So this is how you need to approach any problem solving, and why problem solving is important today. Why do you think we have to solve problems? Okay, first of all, define problem for me. I want at least 5 answers from you guys. How to define a problem? What is problem?
An obstacle that comes in our way, in our path.
Very good. Very good. Any other definition? Adding to this,
Any situation which is harmful or as an obstacle in our life.
very good. Harmful
I
and
think I have an addition to what I said.
go
I think I
go
have
and
an addition to what I already said. Like I said, any obstacle that comes in our path, but I think problem will be any obstacle that any new obstacle that comes in our path for which we need to find a solution. Because if we are facing an obstacle which we have already seen, find that won't be a problem because we already know the solution to it. Problem occurs when we don't know the solution to it.
Okay. Okay, you guys are partially correct. Why?
So we can
Sir,
also
any
say that anyone.
unconventionality that occurs.
go go one by one. Solve your own problems, huh?
Sir, any unconventionality that occurs in the path might be a problem.
Okay, again partial. You guys are missing on one very important point.
Any situation which is unwelcome, which we don't want in our life.
Okay, so you are moving towards life. So let's come down a little bit because life
It
problem
slows
is
down
very
the
difficult.
pace of the business.
Very good. So now you are at least reaching to that. You have used one word called business. So problem, when you guys are using a word, it's an obstacle to achieve the desired result. Is that a most appropriate problem definition?
Yeah, a new obstacle.
New or old is okay. Okay, if it is an old one, it might come as a new root cause to you, because you need to understand the problems are symptoms and root causes are something which is causing that problem. So root cause might be new, problem might be old. Can that happen?
Yes, obviously. Like we get fever, but for getting fever,
Exactly.
there are many other ways of
Many
many ways
other
of
root
getting
causes.
fever.
No? Yeah. So problem is same. No? Might be old,
Yeah,
might
I
be
get
new.
your
I don't
point.
know.
Get your point.
So you need to understand that unless it is becoming an obstacle to achieve something which you desired, you will not be motivated to solve that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That means a goal or a desire is very, very important. And when you are in a business, what's the desire? In month of April or in month of January, what are they doing? Business leaders. Annual goals.
Checking the books, I believe.
Annual goals basically.
Annual goals. Abhi financial year has started.
So for next year, we are deciding that what should be our annual goals. Next year, we want to achieve 20 billion revenue or something like that. So if that's my goal and that's my desire, anything which stops me or create an obstacle to achieve this thing, do you think they are eager to solve those things?
Yes.
So that's the problem solving. And that's the problem. Anything which stops you in achieving the desired result. Simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't make it more complex. Don't go to Webster dictionaries. Keep it simple for your own definitions. Anyone heard about this or anyone seen this on Google? I hope everyone has went.
I have.
So this is the house of lean. This is the parent house which is designed by Toyota Production System. And this is actually pushes all the organizations today. You picked up any big organization, Apple, you pick up even Tesla. These guys are picking up best practices from Toyota Production System. Okay, I just want to share few videos. I don't know whether it's feasible or not, because just let me know whether you guys are able to hear the sound or not. Is sound audible to you guys?
No.
No,
No,
sir.
no,
The
no.
sound is not
No.
coming.
But that's the problem I want to solve, because I am not able to solve that problem. How to share the video with you guys now? Okay,
Say,
suppose if
I
I
think
stop.
your headphone, you are connected to the Google Meet through your wired
Yes,
headphones, right?
yes. So should I
Put it,
remove
you
that?
can keep that on speaker and then
Okay,
you can play it.
okay. Let us remove that.
Welcome to the astronaut. Is it audible now? Program.
Yes, it's audible
Yes,
now.
Yes,
yes, sir.
yes,
Is the sound audible now?
yeah,
Yes,
yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes,
You have
sir.
stopped it right now.
Yeah, I stopped it. Wait. And my audio is clear or my audio is
Yeah,
equal?
that's
Because
also
I'm
Yes,
clear.
it's clear.
so just watch this video. I think it's a 2-minute video. You might have seen this movie earlier, and listen to the comment given by a person who was an astronaut, and see that how important the problem solving for him. Because this could save your life. Welcome to the astronaut candidate program. Now pay attention, because this could save your life. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. All right, let me get a few things out of the way right off the bat. Yes, I did in fact survive on a deserted planet by farming in my own shit. Yes, it's actually worse than it sounds, so let's not talk about that ever again. The other question I get most frequently is, when I was up there, stranded by myself, did I think I was gonna die? Yes, absolutely. And that's when you need to know going in, because it's gonna happen to you. This is space. It does not cooperate. At some point, everything's gonna go south on you. Everything's gonna go south, and you're gonna say, this is it. This is how I end. Now you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin. You do the math. You solve one problem, and you solve the next one, and then the next. And if you solve enough problems, you get to come home. All right. Questions? What's the message you get from this video?
Sir, it's from the movie The Martian.
But what's the message you get from this video?
I get one message
Mm-hmm.
that to solve a problem, it is better to go step by step rather than taking the problem as a whole. It is better to simplify the problem so that we can see every problem score, whatever the basic problem. Because for example, I gave the example of fever. We can see the different root causes. Like for example, in the case of an astronaut, if he wants to maintain the pressure inside the cabin, he would have to separately check each and every compartment, each and every pressure valve, to see that everything works perfectly. So
Okay.
we need to simplify it.
Okay. The clear message. I agree with you, but the clear message from this video is every day you guys have to solve one problem. Why it is important? And when they are saying solve the problem, I'm not expecting you to successfully get the desired result. How many of you are from science background in this group?
Me.
Any other? Okay, how many?
Yes, so me.
Okay, people who are coming from science or at least mathematics background, you guys know that every time the theorem is not proven true, or when you
Yes.
go to your laboratories, the experiment is not always true,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
you are not able to do experiment successfully. But still, the failed experiment is more expensive, or it's more useful for you rather than a successful experiment. Why?
Because we get to know the different mistakes and it helps us discover the unknown.
Unknown, and it also helps you to
It
avoid these things in future because it will avoid
it
future
makes us
losses.
aware, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly. So always whenever you go, because you guys are coming from an innovation cell where you are at some point in time you are going to become entrepreneurs, all of you. So you need to learn. A success story will always be supported by 99 failures, and that 99 failure is where the investor invest. It's not, they not invest into that one success. Why? If you go and present, they only invest into that those 99 failures, and you have to present that. Why?
Because they know the different ways we have failed, so that gives them the belief that there is a way out, because we have been trying to solve our problems one by one, which helps us get closer to the result.
They look
Maybe we
for
are
the
near,
passion.
maybe we are far.
Yeah, they look your passion, that you
Yeah.
didn't give up even after the first failure. So 99 times you have failed to get one success. So that means there is something, and you have ample learning after your failures. Okay, so let's continue. Otherwise, we are over time. So, what is continuous improvement, and has anyone undergone this PDCA cycle before? PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, and act, and that's the core of any problem solving. In future, many of you might pick up a role of a quality manager or a quality analyst in different organizations. You will come to know ISO 9001 2015, which is a quality management system standard for any organization worldwide, is based on PDCA. You have to plan for problem solving first. You have to articulate your problem first. Everything is a part of plan. Identify the root causes, and then you start thinking on solution, which is a part of do. Then you check the results whether, and it's not a new cycle for you guys. PDCA is something which you guys are doing in your studies also. Why? Okay,
So
if I
like in entrance exams.
okay, if I announce that, okay, after 1 week your exams are there, or you have a unit test after 1 week, what is the first step you guys are start doing?
We're gonna plan a
So first
timetable
we
for
will
ourselves.
start planning
And
and
start
then
collecting the notes or your
Task your
artifacts.
question papers
yes,
to analyze the syllabus.
Okay, so all
We
these
will
things
see
are
where we are weak at.
very good. So all these things are part of your planning or doing.
planning.
Planning.
Planning. And when you start sit and do a group study or doing an individual study, that's a part of do. That I am going to study this notes, I am going to study this book. When you start studying that, that's a do. How will you check whether the results are good or not? Whatever
So
you have
by
studied,
giving mock tests.
very good. Any other
Revision.
revision, or by internal discussion with your groups or with your friends, that okay, can you tell me the answer for this? I have put up this, how you have approached this. That's also a way of checking that whether I am on a right track or not.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Or calling to a teacher, and when they responded you that you are right or you are wrong or you are partially right, change the method, you act on the solution for tweaking. Is that the way you guys are doing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move into the cooking. At how many of you are cooks? Because I know that this pandemic has made everyone cook. At least that's the skill which everyone has developed. Cooking.
Yes, sir.
You have to cook something tonight. So you plan for the things, you buy the things,
Yes, sir.
then you cut those things. Again, the part of planning, because you are preparing the things for cooking. And when you start cooking, which is do, that this is the way you need to pick up a recipe and start making the dish. How are you checking that whether you are on a right track or not?
So by checking the taste.
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 Checking the texture, consistency of the curry.
Very good. And sometime it is tasted by you, or sometime you invite someone else.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Family member.
And
Yes, sir.
after getting a feedback from your own taste and their taste, what will you do?
We will just add the extra things which we need.
We will trust the other person's taste more.
Okay. So, but are you able to see the cycle?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a universal cycle. Everywhere you will find PDCA. Everywhere. And that's the core of a problem solving. And these are some of the advanced tools which helps you. Six Sigma is something which is very, very prominent these days in industry, focusing on reducing variation, reducing defects, and bringing significant improvements and savings to organization. Design thinking is something which I want to discuss with you guys, because that's the ideation workshop, but I don't know whether the time permits or not. We'll see that something else sometime else as well. And TQM, total quality management, was an old technique, but it's a very robust technique to make an organization start aligning their activities towards a customer need. And you guys always need to be very, very careful when you are saying we are working for customer requirements or customer need. Why? Or do you think it's not different? It's same.
Need is an essential, requirement is a luxury. Like having legs to walk is a need.
Possible,
But
possible. Your answer is right. But
Excuse
if
me, sir,
huh,
can you please repeat? Actually, connection
okay,
se thoda.
okay. What I'm saying is that how can you differentiate between customer need and customer requirement? And there is a very famous quote around this by
okay, I have an
Henry Ford.
example, I think, to explain this.
Go ahead.
For example, if a person buys a car,
Hmm.
having a steering, having wheels, if it is a normal manual car, having a gearbox is needed. But having an upgraded FM player or an audio system, that is a requirement based on the customer. It is not a need.
Okay. Can I defer to your answer at this point in time? Because all
Sure,
those things
sure.
earlier also what you mentioned are most of the things are requirement. Understand the need. Okay, if you keep it simple, needs are answering the question why you need this. But requirements are what do you need or what is your needs. Is that correct? Why you
I
need
get your
this?
point.
If you ask me that I want something to go from my home to office, is only a car a solution to that?
No,
But that's my need. But that's my need. Give me a solution now.
you just need an object to help you travel. That's it.
Exactly. And if I come to you as a requirement thing, I might ask you that, okay, can you give me a vehicle which can carry 4 people, which is having a steering and a air condition because I am going in a very hot temperature. I need a roof because there is a rain. So I am telling you a need and I am telling you a requirement, which I
You're telling
think
me
is
you're
Need.
telling me need in
You're
that case.
telling
need and requirement both. Na?
Yeah,
Need
both you're
because I
telling
want
me.
to save myself from the rain.
Yeah,
So I need a roof. If you have a
yeah,
better solution, give me that. Because
yeah.
that's what I need to save myself from the rain. So you need to understand between these differences between need and the requirement.
So, what is the standard definition of need and requirement?
Need answers your why you need this. Why? If suppose I if okay, uh, a very famous quote, if you guys can Google it, by Henry Ford, and why Henry Ford has come up with a T model car. He mentioned that I never listen to the customer. Why? And that's a very revolutionary statement given by Henry Ford. Because as per Henry Ford, if you allow customers to tell you what they need, they will ask you that I need a fastest horse. Can you give me the fastest horse? Or is there anything exist fastest horse?
No.
So then how can I solve a problem? Because that's a requirement by customer. So then they told that, okay, that's why we are giving them a car. And it is having an engine which is having running on a horsepower. So that's why the engine power has been converted to a denomination of horsepower, because they are looking, they removed the horse from the buggy and they replace it with the engine, which is actually carrying the same horsepower. Need is same. I want to go from point A to point B. Whether it is by a physical horse, a real horse, or a equivalent engine which is running on a horsepower. My need is met. So requirement is something, I want a car, I want a black color car, and I want a steering, I want a air condition, but I don't know why. I don't know why.
So,
Hmm.
sir, can we say that requirement consists of the satisfaction of the customer, whereas need is answering the very why?
You can say, you can say, you can say.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so these are the definitions of problem. Problem is one of those words we are loosely to describe in any situation which look uncertain or difficult in any respect. And I think you guys have mentioned the same words, uncertain, difficult. And for the purpose of this training, we need to be more specific about what we mean by problem. Otherwise, you guys cannot be a problem solver. Okay. Be very, very careful when you are standing in front of a customer or in front of anyone who is coming to you to solve a problem. Listen to them first. Be a good listener. That's the first skill you have to acquire to be a problem solver. Listen to others. Listen to person who is stating a problem and ask open-ended question, not yes or no. Okay? Be a good negotiator. So problem is a condition often identified as a result of multiple incidents. Is that correct? Or do you think that problem can only be because of one root cause? Or there can be multiple root causes?
There can be multiple root
There
causes.
can be
There can be
multiple.
multiple root causes.
Multiple root causes. Okay. So problem can also be identified from a single significant incident. Are there any such examples? Single incident. We are currently in that situation, I think. Or do you think there are multiple? Why are you working from home or studying from home at least today?
So COVID.
COVID.
Because of COVID.
So it's a single incident, or do you think there are multiple incidents? Rain is also there, COVID is also there, election is also there. Do you think there are all these things, or there is only one major incident?
No, sir, it's
One
just the
One
major
COVID.
incident.
And it is having a significant impact.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's a bigger problem for you. Okay. And that this is what which I like a most appropriate problem definition, which I think you guys can buy in. Problem is an obstacle which makes it difficult to achieve a desired goal. Very short, very clear. From a business perspective, this is the most appropriate statement I found. Because business runs on goals. They define goals, objectives. And if anything stops them to achieve that, they have to solve it. So characteristics of a problem. What are the different characteristics you guys see apart from these three? Like there is a less clarity on the situation, difficulty in measurement. Uh, Given the condition, larger number of causes are there, so you don't know which one is highly impacting.
Having a less experience in a field is also considered as a problem.
Yeah, that's okay. Uh, Very, very categorically, I'm telling you, there are three things you guys are going to face in when you go into the corporate world. There is a problem, there is a root cause, and there is an intermediate cause. Okay, don't uh, don't attract towards an intermediate cause as a problem. Why? And I'll tell you the technique how to find that. That now I don't know the name of a person who has just said this.
It's me, Utkarsh.
Utkarsh, okay. Uh, less experience in practitioner. Can I say that? This is what your answer.
Yes.
Anyone wants to give a shot on this? That okay? How can this cannot be a problem? I want you guys to learn this thing, and I think I'll share the presentation so you can go and do a off read. It's having a lot of content for you guys.
Can I give a try?
Yeah, sure. Everyone.
Uh, when we go into the corporate world, if for example, as you said, in a business is defined by its goals,
Hmm.
and goals are defined on the situation you are in.
Hmm.
If you are just incorporating a company, you're not, the goals at that time will be different, and the goals when a company has been well established will be different.
Hmm.
Similarly, when a person is coming into the corporate world, if it is a prerequisite to the job that yeah, you need to have prior experience, then it is a problem.
Again,
But
Utkarsh, that's what I'm saying. Don't attach that as a problem. I'll tell you. When you are saying this word, I have written this word, correct?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
There are three type of questions you need to ask for this. And tell me which path you want to go. If this is the point you have thrown to me or by someone else, I would ask you, okay, Utkarsh, if less experience in the practitioner is there, so what? What will happen? I'll get them work. I'll ask them to stay back till 12 o'clock in the night overtime. What will happen in my business if you have a less experience? Now tell me.
The ability to solve the time amount of time taken to solve every problem in every situation would be different compared to an experienced
Ability.
person.
Okay,
No,
ability.
ability might be the same.
Okay.
Ability might be the same. The raw talent might be the same. And because he's new, he might be having more enthusiasm to sit for longer hours and work.
Okay.
But
Go ahead. Go ahead.
the amount of knowledge and on-field experience will give you how to tackle situations, or how to, like the way you are explaining us how to solve a problem, that is because you have the experience in that.
Mm-hmm.
You have worked there. That is why you are explaining us.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, a less experienced practitioner might not will be it will be like an exactly similar scenario. Like they will be like us, who have the will to learn, who are ready to spend in the hours, but they don't know exactly what to do. So the time taken to solve the problem will be more.
Okay, so I'll answer your situation in a very different way, which you guys are facing. Okay. Let's take up the example of fever, which you have told me earlier. And you are telling me that fever is one of the problem. I'll deny to that and I'll come down a little bit. I am saying, no, that's not a problem. The problem is, now listen my statement carefully. Now the problem is because you have went out without having a winter clothes or a warm clothes outside in environment or outside the house. That's the problem. Is that correct statement?
Yeah, that would be the
Yes, sir.
proper cause, and the fever would be the intermediate cause in that situation.
Now tell me, and that's what I want you guys to understand. Less experience in a practitioner, you have to ask 3 questions, and let's see how those 3 questions take you to either to a problem or to a root cause or to a solution. Suppose if you are facing this type of situation that, okay, this is the word thrown by any of your team member or your management. Okay, we are facing a problem of less experience. Understand? We are facing a problem of less experience in the practitioner. Your question should be, so what? My answer to that is lower productivity of people. You mentioned same thing, na, Utkarsh? I am going
No,
to take
I
more
am
time.
Pranav.
Oh, Pranav. I am going to take more time means for the same amount of job or same result of job, I am taking more time. So my productivity is low. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So that means if your productivity is low, do you think I will ask another level of question. So what? So what your productivity is low?
Outcomes are
Productivity is
slow.
expenses are high. Don't you
So
think?
deadlines are not met if
Very good.
productivity is low.
At
Very
the
good.
end of the day, expenses are high because it
No, no.
works on a simple work hour ratio.
Okay. Very, very important point for all of you guys. Understand that thing. Another third point, because this is how I think I'll remember those points when you guys are talking, and I'm remembering my own days of learning, and I have a mentor who teaches me all these things. Whenever you guys are doing a problem solving, never cut any other person's idea. Why? All ideas are good idea. Why?
because it gives a
So one
large
can lead you.
scalability.
Because it gives
Because
different
Sir,
even if the
perspectives.
solution is, because even if the idea is wrong, they will at least get us closer to the situation on a very primary level.
sir, one
Avoid.
can bring you to closer to the outcome, and whereas other can bring you closer to what not to do to get closer to the outcome. Like one can give you success, other can failure, which is not the failure, rather experience.
Experience. So
Or in
and
your words, as you said, that the question will lead us to a solution or a new problem or another intermediate cause.
exactly. So first of all, remove the word from your dictionaries when you become a problem solver or when you wear a hat of a problem solver. Wrong. There is nothing called wrong. Any one of you has seen the root cause? Have anyone of you, for any problem, have you guys seen a root cause? Or only you felt the problem or you have seen the symptoms of the problem?
No, we might have seen, but we might not have realized that we have seen the root cause. That might be a
Exactly.
situation.
Exactly. So retrospective, you guys are doing root cause analysis, na? If
Yes.
you know
Yes,
that the
sir.
root cause is coming, you might have avoided that, but you never know the root cause, na? So no one has seen the root cause. So how can you be so sure that this is wrong, this is right?
Yes, sir.
It's only the effectiveness post implementation of the solution which tells you that you have identified the right root cause, or you can say not the right root cause but less effective root cause. Because even if you have identified right root cause, solution might not be effective. How can you blame the root cause? It's the solution which you have implemented. So remove this word wrong, because it's a very, very strong word saying to a problem solver that you are wrong. They are doing experiment. Okay, I'll ask you, if a doctor is doing an operation and someone died, so do you say to a doctor that you have done a wrong operation?
No,
No.
sir.
Why?
No, sir.
It may be because of patient's health issue.
But doctor have to save that, and that's the job of a doctor. Why are
But
you
Irrespective of the
saying?
irrespective of the situation, whether
Sometimes
it is a
some things are
doctor,
not controllable.
irrespective of the situation, whether it is a doctor's mistake or is it a complication, any there is no guarantee that a life will be saved. It is always the effort, and sometimes a life may not be saved due to some issue. Maybe it might be doctor's negligence also, which we can't question,
Hmm.
but it can also be a situation where something new came up,
Hmm.
which would be a new problem, and they will have to the doctors will again have to work on that new problem to find a solution to that again new thing.
Okay, so first come to this. Let's close this one. Lower profitability is a problem. I forget the name. Uh,
Productivity.
no, no. The person who was just doing this thing, na? Pranav.
Curve.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Pranav. So Pranav, this is an intermediate root cause, and this is your problem,
Yes, sir.
because I can see this in my balance sheet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Can you measure this thing? Less experience in a practitioner. Do you have a correct
No,
measure of this?
before the situation we can't. After he works, we can
So
based on
it's
the
a lag.
metrics.
Correct. It can only be felt with a lagging indicator. Now, after the event has happened and you see
Yeah.
the numbers, then only you can come to a root cause. Oh, it is because of a less experience. And then what I told you, the question which you need to ask here.
Then what? If
So
we have
what?
like, so what? So what?
So what? So what will help you to reach to the problem from any verbose, any verbatim. If you want to go to the root cause, what will be the question you need to ask?
So what?
Five why.
By meaning,
Five why. Okay, why the practitioner is having a less experience? What do you think?
because he doesn't have prior experience.
Because he's new to
Okay,
the
It's
job.
his first time exposure to this corporate world.
okay. So why have you put a lesser experience? Now understand my questions. Why have you put a less experienced practitioner on this job?
So
Two
might be we are
scenarios.
running out of
I
might
have
be
two
we are
scenarios.
running out of monies.
Very good. Any other?
Okay, I have two scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
One is a situation where we saw something in that practitioner, some spark or something that he has a lot of capability. We take him. That is one scenario.
Mm-hmm.
The second scenario is we goofed up.
Correct. So then you need to take a binary path here, and there
Yeah.
is no problem in that.
Uh,
Take a binary path and ask more why question, and that's the tool we call in problem solving 5 why analysis.
okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, according to you, sir, less experience in a practitioner, sir, is not a major problem.
It's not a problem, it's an intermediate cause.
सर बट सर अगर आप कोई कंपनी शुरू कर रहे हो तो फिर आप क्या मान लो जितने भी एम्प्लॉयज जिनके पास लेस एक्सपीरियंस है क्या आप उनको हायर करोगे फिर वो तो
हाँ,
प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी
नहीं तो यही समझे नहीं, अभी जो ये आपने वर्ड यूज किया ना कि वो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, किस नंबर में प्रॉब्लम दिखेगी आपको? आप ओके, अगर आप एक्सपीरियंस लोग लेके आते हो तो क्या चीज इंप्रूव हो जाएगी?
प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी
तो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी कम हो रही है वो प्रॉब्लम है या लेस एक्सपीरियंस प्रॉब्लम है?
प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी कम हो रही है
So profitability is my problem. Profitability is because of, now understand these words, na? Lower profitability because of what?
Less
लेस
experience.
Less
एक्सपीरियंस
experience. So you are using the English same, na? Lower
So then why is
profitability.
it not a root cause?
No, you tell me, if you ask 5 why, less experience, why you have hired less experienced people then? And why have you deployed them on these critical jobs? Why have you not worked on their improvement of skills or knowledge? Because there is no training plan. So
Also because
solution
they
is
are
not. Go ahead, go ahead.
so also because more experienced people are not available.
So now you are reaching to the root cause, no? So that means availability to a real mentors or a experienced mentors are not there. So it's not a person's problem. Na? Like when you are going to join an organization, if they are not able to help you to gain that experience fast by putting you under some mentor, it's their challenge. It's not your problem. So I'll deny to this fact that less experience in a practitioner is a root cause for me. Tell me that why they are not able to gain that experience. What have you done for that? Where are the training plans? Is
So
that correct?
then,
Sir,
so no proper training plans is the root cause.
So that means, what is the solution? As soon as you hire a person based on the experience, do every HR or a manager should start working on the career growth plan for a person for next 3 months or for next uh, 1 month?
Yes, sir.
yes,
Yes.
sir.
So that's the solution. So understand these three questions. To reach to the problem, you need to ask, so what? Any verbose, so what, takes you to the problem. From any verbose, you want to go to the root cause, why? And from the root cause, how? So we
Sir, I
call
have
these
one
tools.
question.
Go ahead.
As we go with the so what problem,
Mm-hmm.
according to your logic, we no doubt will get closer to the real root cause of this.
Real
But
problem. Real
a
problem.
real problem, the real problem, we will get
Mm,
close to that.
mm,
But as we go with the whys and whys and whys, there could be a situation. I don't know whether it works or not. Just an hypothesis I'm getting. That's why I'm sharing it.
mm.
So there will be a situation where we might have reached the real problem, but we are still asking, so what? How do we?
Might be. And there is no correct way for this. That's the reason I'm telling you. If you are able to answer that, that means there is a scope and you have additional knowledge on that.
So may I add something?
Uh,
Sir, in that case, we can answer or solve every problem, every stage we are concluding to. Like, if you're asking so what and reaching to a second stage, then we can solve that problem first and then we can move to the third problem.
this
Like,
was
every stage, micro solving problem, like
correct.
micro step.
Correct. So this is Pranav or Utkarsh who was asking the question, and
No, it
I
is
request
Pranav.
Pranav. So and I request everyone in this group to ask the question, because I don't think so there is a webinar kind of a concept for problem solving. If you don't discuss these things with me, uh, lesser learning will be there, because if I only speak out, I don't know whether that's a good thing.
Actually, the less experience wala was mine, Utkarsh, but Pranav added to so many things. So
So
मेरे
now
को
I'm telling you. So
बहुत
now,
चीज clarify है प्रणव की वजह से.
so now I'll tell you why we should take this approach. Lesser experience when leads to lower profitability. Do you think lower profitability can only be resolved by having a higher experienced people, or do you think diversification in my services can also help me in improving my profitability?
So the
It depends on what
diversification.
are what
Exactly.
is the.
Exactly, because if lesser experience, Pranav, if lesser experience is only contributing 5% to the profitability as a component, even if you improve the experience of a person, profitability will only go up by 5%. But diversification might add 20% to your problem.
Yeah, that depends situation to situation, scenario to scenario.
So do you think that it's worth investing time and money in experience then? Because the problem is lower profitability and that can be improved significantly by some other
It
avenue.
depends.
So
No, sir.
that's why we are asking you that don't focus on just one word. Reach to the real problem and reach to the real root causes and then find the solution.
Get your point, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, what will happen? You start working on lesser experience, and you have done a significant and a innovative way of training people, and after 6 months the profitability only goes up by 0.5%. Do you think your business will pat on your back, or they will give you a promotion?
No.
No, sir.
You have invested 6 months of time and so much money and time of other people to do brainstorming, implementation of the solution, buying technology solutions, but profitability only goes up by 0.5. So be very careful when you are solving the problem. Give them a high impacting root causes. Pareto chart. Has anyone heard about Pareto? Because people are from economics here also, I think.
No, sir.
No one is from economics, huh?
I have not heard of that term.
Wilfred Pareto has
Not me.
created a tool, 80-20. What's the tool name? Pareto chart.
We
80-20
need to
means
work on the 20% problems to
no,
create
no, no, no.
the
Reverse.
yes, sir.
80% of the problems,
80% of the problems can be solved by working on 20% of the
20% of the causes.
causes. Yeah.
Causes. That's the 80-20 principle. So that means 80% of the problem impact will be addressed by only 20% of the causes. Lesser effort or lesser investment leading to higher benefits. That's 80-20. And that's an economics tool, not a quality tool. So be very careful when you guys are presenting. Okay, so problem management is something which is a set of processes. Problem management, and the key to problem management is understanding the problem first. You guys need to understand the problem the way we did as so what. Understand the problem symptoms, collect the data. Now tell me, have you seen this process somewhere else in your real life? Because then only you are able to correlate what's problem solving. How many of you are preparing for law as one of the career avenue? Anyone? Anyone LLB? Anyone coming from medical line? Oh, can anyone
Engineering
name
side.
engineering side? Okay. So,
So if you mean a profession, then I'm doing chartered accountant.
you being a chartered accountant. Okay. Okay. Let's pick up your case only. Chartered accountant. Can you tell me who is the most experienced or expert chartered accountant today? Whom you know? I'm not asking any word. Expert chartered accountant. Or do you think it's an incorrect word I have used?
Yes, sir,
Expert.
it's incorrect.
Why? What do you mean by expert? First of all, tell me.
So, sir, who is well aware of his her field?
Or do you want to add something else? Expert means there is nothing beyond that circle of influence. Means everything in your chartered accountant business or in your policies, there is nothing beyond his reach. He or she knows everything.
So, like in chartered
Can that be a
accountant,
situation?
so like being a CSA, you get to know about so many things like taxation, audit. But sir, कुछ लोग सिर्फ taxation में expert होते हैं, कुछ लोग सिर्फ audit में expert होते हैं.
कभी किसी ने कोई लॉयर से बात की है? कभी आप में से किसी ने? क्या किसी डॉक्टर से रिसेंटली?
Yes, sir.
वो क्या बोलते हैं अपने आप को? एक्सपर्ट?
No,
नहीं sir, doctor.
No,
I like
sir.
doctor never said. I've never heard it from a doctor.
आपने हमेशा एक वर्ड सुना होगा, they always use a thing, we are practicing for last 30 years.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by this? ये 30 years से आप प्रैक्टिस ही कर रहे हो, अभी तक आप एक्सपर्ट नहीं बन पाए, ये तो बहुत ही बेकार चीज है.
It's always a learning process.
There is no end to it.
Exactly. Why? Because problem circle is ever growing. Have you faced all the problems in the world? अगर
No.
लॉयर से आप
No,
पूछोगे
sir.
तो उसने क्या सारे के सारे केसेस सॉल्व कर रखे हैं खुद?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
But 30 years of practicing means I'm practicing and I know that for last 30 years the situations I have faced. So you can imagine I have done in last 30 years how many operations as a medical practitioner. So I know most of the problem, but I cannot be a master of all because I haven't faced all the medical problems in the world. And same thing happens with a problem solver. You can practice problem solving tools, but you cannot become an expert. Why? Because same thing, you didn't have the understanding of all the problems. And if you are using a word that I'm practicing, please follow these 9 steps. These are the very basic 9 steps for you guys to learn. Understand the problem, collect the data, understand the problem. Okay, let's go back to a real world. Anyone recently visiting a doctor? People who are not speaking. Yeah, okay. I think someone has messaged on chat. Can you come on mic? What was your experience when you are sitting in front of a doctor? How you started your conversation? How have you started the
Sir, we
conversation?
simply state our problem, and they'll
Very
first of all they are very good listeners. They'll listen it
very good.
properly. Will ask more detail. Will better, and then only they will try to approach the problem.
Okay, let's stop here. You state your problem. So you told them something as a symptoms. That might be a headache. You are facing a headache or something
Yes, sir.
else.
So okay, sort of headache.
Headache. But are you also telling them that this headache is for I'm facing is actually since last 5 days? Is that statement of 5 days is very important? Or do you think that okay, मैंने बोल दिया ना
It's
मेरे
No,
important.
सर में
sir,
दर्द
this
हो
is
रहा है तो
important.
क्यों?
No, sir, it's
It's
important.
सब नैरो डाउन कर देता है सर ऑप्शंस को.
अब मेरे को तो 5 साल से सर दर्द हो रहा है. मैं आज गया हूँ डॉक्टर के पास तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है उसको सॉल्व तो करनी पड़ेगी ना. आपको
Sir,
5 दिन से हो रहा है मुझे
but
5 साल से हो रहा है तो फिर अब क्या फर्क है उसमें सर दर्द
सर
तो
वो
सर दर्द.
मेथड नो सर मेथड ऑफ अप्रोचिंग डिफरेंट होगा ना
सर अगर आप ये
दोनों में.
गूगल में देखोगे तो बोल देगा
will
आपको
be
कैंसर
different.
है.
तो अब आपको पता लगा. अगर टाइमलाइन नहीं बता रहे हम तो दैट मींस वो वी आर नॉट टेलिंग यू द सिवियरिटी ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम कब से है. तो रूट कॉज कब से आपके सिस्टम में बैठा है यू आर नॉट एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई. इज दैट करेक्ट? क्योंकि विद इन
Yes.
5 days when I start doing an analysis on your activities and what have you eaten, what have you done, so उससे मुझे कुछ रूट कॉज निकल के आएंगे. Okay, let's stop here. So आप so understanding the problem is clear to you guys and you have seen this in the real world. उसके बाद डॉक्टर क्या करता है? पहला स्टेप मुझे बताइएगा, बिल्कुल पहला स्टेप. डोंट मेक मुझे बिल्कुल वही बताइएगा जो वो कर रहा था कि भाई हाँ ठीक है आपने प्रॉब्लम बता दी. उसने नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या किया होगा डॉक्टर ने?
सर डॉक्टर सर फिर बोलेगा कि बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस.
बोलेगा नहीं. पहले मुझे बताओ कि वो
Ask symptoms.
सबसे पहले क्या करेगा? वो अपना एक थर्मामीटर निकालेगा और आपके मुंह में डाल
yes
देगा
sir
और
yes
आप
sir
अपने
he will look
स्टेथोस्कोप
into
से. ये क्या हो रहा है? ये मतलब ये मैं क्या करने मैंने बोला ना सर में दर्द है तो सर नहीं चेक कर रहा है. बुखार क्यों चेक कर रहा है?
sir वो
ब्रीदिंग
कोई
other
देर
field को भी
रीजंस
investigate
जिससे
कर रहा
आपको
है.
बुखार हो, सर दर्द हो मतलब.
He
ओके.
is just checking if it
sir
is because of the fever.
sir he is investigating the other possible reasons that could result into the that could have result into the headache.
ओके चलो अभी थोड़ी देर के लिए उससे बाहर निकलते हैं फिर बाहर कहीं और चलते हैं. मैं एक कंपनी खोल रहा हूँ एंड आई वांट यू गाइस टू इन्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू 1 लाख रुपीज इन दैट. विल यू बी इंटरेस्टेड इन दैट?
No sir, not for the very first time. We'll first investigate it.
ओके अब मैं आपको एक और नंबर देता हूँ कि मेरी कंपनी का लास्ट 5 साल का जो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी है वो 70% है. अब
Yes sir, might be.
A little bit.
तो आपने क्या किया? एक बिजनेस के एक वाइटल स्टैट्स होते हैं, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी, मार्केट शेयर, कस्टमर एक्विजिशन रेट. आपकी फिजिकल बॉडी के क्या स्टैट्स हैं? टेम्परेचर, ब्रीदिंग रेट.
Yes, sir.
अगर मुझे उनमें डेविएशन दिखता है फ्रॉम अ स्टैंडर्ड 98.4 फ़ारेनहाइट से टेम्परेचर ऊपर की तरफ जाता है तो क्या ये वाइटल स्टैट्स दिखाता है कि सचमुच में कोई ना कोई रूट कॉज बैठा है आपके सिस्टम में?
Yes.
Yes sir.
देखो सिम्टम दिख रहा फीवर की तरह है लेकिन रूट कॉज कुछ और हो सकता है ना. और वो नंबर्स कैसे मैं नंबर्स में आप सरदर्द कैसे बता सकते हो मुझे कि मेरा स्केल ऑफ ऑन अ स्केल ऑफ 1 to 10 मेरा सरदर्द 7 है? ऐसा बोलते हैं क्या?
No, sir.
No sir.
तो मैं मेजर कैसे करूं कि भाई आप सच बोल रहे हो कि झूठ बोल रहे हो? मुझे स्टैट्स चेक करने पड़ेंगे ना बॉडी के. एंड वाइटल स्टैट्स इमीडिएटली चेक करने के लिए क्या होते हैं डॉक्टर के पास? ब्लड प्रेशर करेगा,
Thermometer.
ब्रीदिंग चेक करेगा,
Stethoscope.
आपका वेइंग स्केल से स्टेथोस्कोप से और थर्मामीटर से बॉडी टेम्परेचर से करेगा. क्योंकि ये वाइटल स्टैट्स मुझे कुछ ना कुछ सिम्टम्स दिखाएंगे कि इनमें वेरिएशन आ गया है. एंड वी स्टार्ट कलेक्टिंग डेटा एंड द सेम थिंग यू डू इन योर बिजनेस. एंड देन यू स्टेट द प्रॉब्लम कि आपको प्रॉब्लम सरदर्द की नहीं है. क्या है? मुझे 5 साल से प्रॉब्लम है ना. मुझे लग तो सर दर्द रहा था. अब आपने मुझे मेरी प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट चेंज कर दी डेटा कलेक्शन करने के बाद. क्या है मेरी प्रॉब्लम आप बोल रहे थे? ये तो बहुत सीवियर इशू हो गया ना कि कैंसर है. उसके बाद क्या करता है डॉक्टर? अभी मुझे आपने बता दिया कि ठीक है देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम, आपने मेजरमेंट सिस्टम चेक कर लिया है, आपने डेटा कलेक्ट कर लिया है एक बेसिक, अब आप क्या करोगे?
So he will prescribe you some medicine.
हाँ,
Or maybe he'll tell us
अब
to like
हाँ
go
अब
for
देखो,
other checkups.
वेरी गुड। क्यों? क्योंकि देर आर सर्टन हाइपोथेसिस डेवलप्ड। वो कुछ हाइपोथेसिस डेवलप करेगा कि ये जो टेम्परेचर डाउन हुआ है, जिसके सिम्टम्स हेडेक हैं, उसके लिए ऐसा करो, आप जाके ब्लड काउंट का एक टेस्ट करा लो, बिकॉज इफ द ब्लड काउंट इज ऑल्सो कमिंग डाउन इट माइट बी डेंगी। इफ देर इज अनदर प्रॉब्लम, माइट बी सपोज आप ईसीजी करवा लो, तो द प्रॉब्लम इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रूट कॉज। हाइपोथेसिस डेवलप कर रहे हैं हम लोग, विच इज एनालिसिस फेज। यही होता है, क्योंकि वो रिपोर्ट्स में या तो पॉजिटिव आएगा या नेगेटिव आएगा, बेस्ड ऑन दैट दे स्टार्ट डूइंग द ट्रीटमेंट।
Yes, sir.
तो वो हाइपोथेसिस डेवलप हो गए ना। आपने भी तो अभी मुझे एक हाइपोथेसिस ही बोला था ना कि हम लेस एक्सपीरियंस की तरफ जाएंगे, वो हाइपोथेसिस है। आप प्रूव करके दो ना मुझे कि अगर मैं एक्सपीरियंस बंदे ला दूं तो क्या प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी इंप्रूव कर दोगे? नहीं, पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, क्योंकि इट्स अ मिक्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट एंड सर्विसेज ऑल्सो ना। एक्सपीरियंस लोग अगर बेकार प्रोडक्ट सेल कर रहे हैं तो प्रॉफिट कैसे बढ़ाओगे आप? करेक्ट।
Yes, sir.
सो इट्स अ मिक्स ऑफ थिंग्स ना। आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि यही रूट कॉज पे काम करने से मेरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगा। सो हाइपोथेसिस टेस्टिंग विल बी डन एंड देन यू कम अप टू द रूट कॉजेज। जैसे जब वो मेडिकेशन देते हैं या ऑपरेशन बोलते हैं, और उसके बाद क्या होता है? मैंने मेडिकेशन और वो सब दे दिया, अब आपको ठीक हो गए, अब आप बस रिपोर्ट और पैसे लेके छोड़ दूं, या कुछ और होता है बाद में?
Regular checkups
देखो
के लिए किया
देखो
जाता
पी डी और सी हो चुका है, मैंने चेक कर लिया है, आप हेल्दी हो गए हो हॉस्पिटल में रह के, अब क्या करूं? और या पी डी हो चुका है, मैंने ऑपरेशन कर दिया, आप ठीक हो गए, मैंने चेक कर लिया, आप करेक्ट हो, अब क्या करूं?
है। Act.
किस चीज पे एक्ट करूं? लेकिन बिल पे?
सर फिर वो बोलेगा कि एक महीने बाद, एक हफ्ते बाद
फ्यूचर
वापस आना।
पेशेंट्स पे उसी पे एक्ट
क्यों?
किया जाएगा।
क्यों मैं
Also,
एक महीने बाद
he'll
आपको फिर बुला
give
रहा हूँ?
us like
नहीं
for seeing the improvement.
नहीं, एक्ट वो करेंगे कि जो हमें
देखो, जब भी
सिम्टम।
बिजनेस के अंदर आप कोई भी चेंज लेके आओगे, आप कोई भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करोगे, आप भी जब अपने किसी फ्रेंड को कोई प्रॉब्लम
सर
सॉल्व करते
बट
हो, आप उससे फीडबैक लेते हो। फीडबैक इन द सेंस कि आज एक महीने बाद भी क्या वो प्रॉब्लम रिपीट हुई? अगर नहीं हुई तो इसका क्या मतलब है? कि आपने रूट कॉज को किल कर दिया है या रूट कॉज को अरेस्ट कर लिया है। क्योंकि आप कभी भी प्रॉब्लम को नहीं हटा सकते। वाई? आप कभी भी
so
प्रॉब्लम को रिमूव नहीं कर सकते सिस्टम से, प्रॉब्लम तो आएगी। आप रूट कॉजेस पे काम कर रहे हो
सर बिकॉज वी
सॉल्यूशंस पे।
डोंट गो टू द रूट कॉज, हमने सिर्फ।
अगर प्रॉब्लम दोबारा आ गई तो इसका मतलब आपने करेक्ट रूट कॉज पे
सर
काम नहीं
बट
किया
इन
था।
दिस सिनेरियो हमने रूट कॉज पे काम ही नहीं किया।
नहीं, आपने जब आपने ऑपरेशन
यस
किया तो
सर।
आपने रूट कॉज पे ही काम किया ना। तो वो रूट कॉज अगर दोबारा आया या वो प्रॉब्लम दोबारा आई तो इसका मतलब आपने जिस रूट कॉज पे काम किया है वो इफेक्टिव नहीं था ना,
यस सर।
या उसकी अकरेंसेस लेस थी ना प्रणव। तो
ये
जिस
सेग्रेटिव
जिस
पॉइंट
रूट
जैसे
कॉज पे
हमने उस
आपने
सिचुएशन में
काम
दी कि
किया,
प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ाने के लिए।
एग्जैक्टली वो हर बार नहीं होगा ना तुम्हारा। सो दिस इज हाउ यू
सर बट
गो अहेड।
सर बट एक पॉसिबिलिटी ये भी तो हो सकती है कि सोल्यूशन इफेक्टिव नहीं
वो
था।
हो सकता है, तो तभी तो मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ ना। अब आपने एक महीने बाद क्यों बुलाया है मुझे दोबारा से? आप यही तो चेक करना चाहते हो ना, द सोल्यूशन विच यू हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेड हैज बीन एब्जॉर्ब्ड इन योर सिस्टम और नॉट। क्या उसने सिग्निफिकेंट रिजल्ट ला दिए हैं, और वो ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम क्या रूट कॉजेस को अरेस्ट कर पा रहा है? कर पा रहा है तो फिर ठीक है, नहीं तो फिर आपको दोबारा से ऑपरेशन कराना पड़ेगा, दोबारा से इंप्रूवमेंट करना पड़ेगा। और दैट्स द रीजन आई वाज टेलिंग यू ना दैट बी वेरी केयरफुल व्हेन यू गाइस आर वर्किंग ऑन रूट कॉजेज। डोंट वर्क ऑन द लोअर इंपैक्टिंग रूट कॉज, क्योंकि प्रॉब्लम फिर आ जाएगी बाद में। क्योंकि ये रूट कॉज तो बच गया ना अभी, जो बड़ा वाला था। ये जब जब आएगा बड़ी प्रॉब्लम लेके आएगा आपके लिए। आपने छोटे रूट कॉज पे काम किया है, गलत
so
नहीं
we
किया है
should
आपने।
act on the main root cause.
देखो मेन नहीं होता कोई, देर आर मल्टीपल रूट कॉजेज। आपने पैरेटो क्यों बनाया था याद करो। 80% ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम कंट्रीब्यूटेड बाय दीज 20% कॉजेज। पहले उन पे काम करो। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा सब पे नहीं करना, पहले उन पे काम करो ताकि 80% रिजल्ट दिखने लग जाए। देन ओनली द बिजनेस विल बी हैप्पी ना कि आपने एक सिग्निफिकेंट इंप्रूवमेंट लेके आए।
Yes.
हु वांट्स टू इन्वेस्ट इनटू अ लोअर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग ना? अच्छा चलो, एक एक हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर स्टेइंग इन अ इंडिपेंडेंट हाउस इन दिल्ली? ओके, कैन यू कम ऑन कॉल? और कितनों ने अपने सामने घर बनते हुए देखा है अपना इंडिपेंडेंट हाउस? ओके, आपके फादर या आप वहां पे डेली जाके क्यों खड़े होते थे? आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दे दिया है, आपने डिजाइन दे दिया है, आर्किटेक्ट ने बना दिया है, ठेकेदार बना रहा है डेली, आप डेली वहां जाके क्यों खड़े होते हो?
सर रेट चेक करने के लिए।
क्या
To
रेट
check
चेक
over the
करने का?
procedure
पैसे तो
that whether things are going right or not,
नहीं कर रहे हैं।
To check whether everything is
whether the
going
process is
perfect
being
according
followed
to
properly.
plan.
रिक्वायरमेंट है, कितना
देखो
कम है, कितना ज्यादा
देखो
है।
हाँ देखो, 6 महीने बाद आपको आपका घर बना बनाया मिल जाएगा, तब चेंज करा लेना, क्या दिक्कत है? अगर कोई गलती हुई है तो तब चेंज
Sir,
करा
but
लेना,
if
क्या
we,
दिक्कत है? अपना टाइम क्यों खर्च कर रहे हो डेली?
sir, अगर like in the same way वो scenario था कि मतलब हम एक inefficient या फिर
So that will be
inexperienced
expensive.
practitioner को रख रहे हैं, तो वहाँ goof up हो सकती थी,
बोलो
goof up का भी एक सिनेरियो हो सकता था। सिमिलर वे में यहाँ पर भी अगर हम नहीं रहते एंड इफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्टर या जिसको भी हमने दिया है, इफ ही मेक सम मिस्टेक्स, उसके जो रिपरकशंस होंगे वो हमें ज्यादा फेस करने पड़ेंगे। सो वी बी देयर
तो
टू
मैं
मेक
वही
श्योर
कह रहा
दैट
हूँ
देयर
ना,
इज नो
बिकॉज
मिस्टेक्स।
एग्जैक्टली बिकॉज यू नो द इम्पैक्ट इन द एंड आफ्टर 6 months इज वेरी वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट। अगर कुछ गलती यहाँ हो गई तो मैं यहीं इसको अरेस्ट कर लेता हूँ, तभी मैं डेली वहां जाके खड़ा हो जाता था। तो मैं डेली प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग करता था उनके साथ कि ये डिजाइन कुछ ऐसा बनाओ, क्योंकि जब वो बनता हुआ घर दिखता है तो वो आर्किटेक्ट वाले घर से अलग होना शुरू हो जाता है। होता है कि नहीं होता है? जो पेपर पे डिजाइन था और जो रियल बन के आता है वो उसमें
यस
चेंज
सर,
मिलेगा ही
यस सर,
मिलेगा। वो
मिलेगा।
इसीलिए होता है कि बिकॉज यू डिडंट वांट दीज चेंजेस लेटर ऑन, यू वांट टू सेव द मनी। अब आप मुझे कह रहे हो कि मैं लेस एक्सपीरियंस वाले पे पैसा लगा के काम कर लूं, लेकिन फ्यूचर में जाके 6 महीने बाद पता लगे या डाइवर्सिफिकेशन से ज्यादा बेनिफिट मिलना था, या शुरू से ही मैं वो करूं क्योंकि मेरे पास डेटा है सारा बिजनेस का। भाई मैं डेटा एनालिसिस कर सकता हूँ ना, तो मैं वो कर लूंगा।
यस सर।
So you need to be careful while doing a problem prioritization. अपनी प्रॉब्लम को प्रायोरिटाइज कीजिए, सारी प्रॉब्लम्स लिख के एक कैनवस पे मैनेजमेंट को दिखाइए और क्राइटेरिया दीजिए। इट्स अ क्राइटेरिया बेस्ड प्रॉब्लम प्रायोरिटाइजेशन, वी कॉल दैट एज, एंड दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्टेप्स। Defining the problem, identifying the root cause, generate and evaluate alternative solutions, and implement and follow up on the solutions. PDCA. So these are the part of PD. Sorry, these are the part of P. This is the part of D, and this is the part of C and A. This is C and A. And I think here, if you use a word implement, then DCA. This is a part of D. No, sorry, I think this is also a part of P. This whole is part of P, and DCA is here. So first 3 steps are part of P. Okay. Doing and following up is checking and acting. Okay, so these are the basic 4 steps of problem solving, and this is what I want you guys to do. All possible process related problems or any problem in your business, you have multiple problems. Identify one which is the biggest one and is having a higher focus by management. For that problem, you come up with multiple root causes. From those multiple root causes, you come up with few root causes, and for each cause, you might have multiple solutions. Pick up the solution which is easy to implement, less cost investment is required, significant business results can be realized. Based on that, you can come up with a criteria. कौन सा solution आगे जाना चाहिए? But don't delete any of these ideas. इसको delete नहीं करना है, इसको फेंकना नहीं है brainstorming के बाद, इसको रखना है. In future, suppose this solution might not give you a better result, I'll come back to this canvas and pick up another solution. ओके, सो डोंट थ्रो दिस। ये इतनी मेहनत करके आपने ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग के बाद जो ये पीस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन निकाला है, ऑलवेज कीप दिस इन योर स्टोरी बोर्ड, रिकॉर्ड दिस। ये लूज हो गया तो आपकी तो सारी जो मेहनत थी वो सब खराब हो गई। लोगों ने इतनी मुश्किल से प्रॉब्लम्स बताई थी, आपने सिर्फ इस चीज में मना कर दिया, नहीं नहीं यार ये तो गलत है क्योंकि मेरा एक्सपीरियंस कहता है ऐसी प्रॉब्लम कभी आती ही नहीं है। अरे इफ यू हैव ऑल द एक्सपीरियंस देन व्हाई हैव यू इनवाइटेड अस? And when you invited us, respect our ideas, no? Because we also have the experience, and my experience and your experience are different. So people avoid your workshops if you do this thing. They will never contribute in your workshops. Always be very subtle. Use very empathetic and emotional intelligent word that, okay, yes, this solution could be there. Oh, okay, I think this solution is having a least priority over this. So I'm not saying this is wrong, but today we have to park this, we have to go ahead with this, and later on we'll come back to this. Or build a solution on this. Ask people to build more ideas on this if this is incomplete. Use techniques on that. So I think the major task I told you, you have to come up with your process mapping, how you are carrying out the activity, and find where is the problem. Measure the process, key KPIs, you know today, KPI or KPOV, output variable. Revisiting the voice of customer. What is voice of customer? How many of you know this word before? Voice of customer.
Is it feedback?
That feedback is a part of VOC. VOC is a very large umbrella. Feedback is one of that, and it can be a complaint also. Customer complaints, that can also be a VOC. It can be a survey outcome.
Sir, isn't complaint also feedback?
Okay, so if you are asking that everything which is given by the customer is a feedback, then do you think that I am not one of your customer, but you have come to me and have a survey? Then do you think it's a feedback? I haven't used your product.
No, sir.
But that's a VOC because I can be one of your potential customer. You are doing a market research. And this is the voice of customers.
Yes,
This
sir.
customer
It
is
can
your
be used. For
competitive customer
example, if
today.
we are.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Similar scenario, sir.
But we are over time, so I don't know whether you guys have something to do or I'm happy
Sir,
to
your
extend.
voice is breaking.
It's on you guys. Oh, sorry. Hello, is it okay now?
So it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. What I'm saying is that we are over the time, but I don't know what's your guys' schedule. I'm happy to extend. So I don't know about you guys' schedule.
सर बस एक चीज पूछनी थी कि कितने तक एक्सटेंड हो सकता है टाइम?
वो आपके ऊपर डिसाइड है. You are running the workshop. I am only the facilitator right now.
So the people
Sir, I have
conducting
no
the
problem.
workshop can tell you, the IIC
Even I
people.
have no problem.
Or I will forward this presentation to you guys because there are something else like idea management for me. I don't know whether you are able to see my slides. This is the idea
Yes,
management
sir.
workshop, and there
We can see,
are
sir.
because this is something which is important. So idea management I didn't want to take up today because I think you guys are learning on problem first, and then only you should move to idea generation. First, start learning how to find problems and how to articulate that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, we'll
Yes,
be
sir.
happy if you share the PPT.
This one I will share, the one which I'm showing you right now. I will share this as a PDF version to all of you for your reference. Okay. So there
Yes,
are
sir.
a tool set which you guys can go and Google it, like process mapping, matrix diagram. You have a control chart. Anyone seen control chart in real world? ECG graph, ECG machine. What is ECG?
Electrocardiogram.
Cardiogram. And what is
Yes,
the
sir.
purpose of that?
Measuring the heartbeat.
Heartbeat. So have you seen there is an average heartbeat, there is a upper limit, and there is a lower limit. And when the
Yes, sir.
beat is between these limits, it's healthy. Because normal variation is allowed, common cause variation is allowed. But if the point goes up, what will happen? Out of the limit, what will happen?
So cardiac arrest.
Oh, that's a output. But what happened in the machine? Is it start beeping?
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
start
sir.
giving a
Yes, sir.
signal to you, no? So same thing happens in business. This is a control chart which is invented in 1920 by Walter Shewhart, who is a father of control chart, and why he has done. And you guys need to understand problem solving. The birth of problem solving is actually a very sad story, because all the problem solving tools and techniques and quality tools have actually been invented during the time of World War. It's not a very healthy thing, but still you need to appreciate that all these wars, apart from giving you the devastation, has given you these things as well. Have you heard about legend? ना वो अपने legend के बारे में सुना होगा ना, समुंदर मंथन में क्या क्या निकला था, सब कुछ अच्छा ही निकला था. Have you heard that legend?
यस
No,
सर, यस
sir.
सर, कि
क्या
मतलब पूरा
सब कुछ अच्छा
विष
ही
निकला
निकला
था,
क्या?
सब कुछ निकला था,
सब
विष
कुछ
निकला
निकला
था,
था ना.
अमृत निकला
अगर
था, सब.
अच्छा निकला था तो खराब भी निकला था. तो अगर वॉर ने डिवास्टेशन किया है, बट वॉर ने ये चीजें भी दी हैं जो आज हम यूज कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज ऑल दीज टूल्स हैव एक्चुअली कम after the war, when they face that their ammunition, their tanks, their guns are not reusable. There are defects in the guns, in the bullet design, and they come up with these tools. And every person who has come across with the quality gurus, there are 7 quality gurus, very eminent one, Joseph Juran, Walter Shewart, Edward Deming. All these quality gurus once in their life have worked for Japanese organization. Everyone has visited Japan, which has changed their way of looking quality. So Japan is having a very high influence on these problem solving techniques. You will find the name, the tools which we are recommending even to practitioners today. Okay, so for defining a problem, these are the tools which I am underlining. You can use histogram, scatter diagram. Design of experiment is a very good tool coming from the agriculture industry. Agriculturist has done this experimentation tool. Matrix diagram for prioritization. So these are the tools you can use for defining a problem, for prioritizing a problem, for quantifying the problem. Okay, so again, there is no right and wrong answer to this, that okay, if you are not using these tools, you are using something else, it's wrong. No, give me the desired result, defined problem with impact, and what's the magnitude of the problem, I am happy. These are the recommended or advised tools which we have practiced based on your learning, based on your experience, based on your mentor, your books you are reading. You might have different experience than me, and that's perfectly fine. No problem in that. Okay, so always avoid those people who are saying you are doing wrong in problem solving, because they are telling you something wrong. There is nothing right and wrong. More you practice, more you learn about these tools, because these tools come with an assumption. These tools come with a prerequisite. If you don't have that type of data available, don't use these tools. That's the only advisory, because outcome will be not useful for any decision making. That's what I can say. It will show you the output, but that cannot be used for decision making. Okay, so these are the tool sets you can use. Then the next step is identifying root cause. Very important thing, because if you guys are not very alert, or what should I say, you should be little cautious on collecting the root cause. Collect all possible root causes of the problem. Listen my statement again carefully. All possible causes. Please avoid doing prioritization, filtering of ideas during brainstorming. Let the free flow of idea happen within these workshops. If you stop anyone speaking by saying, no, this is not correct, I have experienced this, never be a root cause, you are actually demotivating those people. And let's see one video before, because I didn't like training without videos. Okay, so one we have seen. I don't know how much of you guys. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, how many of you know McDonald's story? McDonald's.
Like origin story or the real estate business story?
No, I know that they. Okay, how many of you know what's the revenue earning business of McDonald's? How they are earning revenue?
I know about it.
What
एक्चुअली वो मैंने एक स्टेटमेंट सुना था कि वो रियल एस्टेट बिजनेस है असली में.
McDonald's is not a fast food company, and that's a shocking for everyone. It's actually a franchisee model company which is dealing in real estate. Okay. So, and do you know that from where they have actually come across when they try to solve a problem? Let's see how they solve a problem of 30 minutes burger delivery to 30 seconds burger delivery. And you can see that how the things are shifting. Wait, I'll just.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm saying that is the audio clear to you guys?
No, sir. You were actually muted in between.
Now?
Turned down. Here we go.
Yes.
Rethink.
Wait, I'll just start this thing again.
In 30 seconds, not 30 minutes.
Okay, last statement. Can anyone explain why it is a disaster? Why they have mentioned it's a disaster? After improving it and converting from 30 minutes to 30 seconds. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think it's a disaster? Okay, see why they are saying it's a disaster. And this is what happened when they have implemented.
15 cents is your change.
Customer education is also very important when you are launching a new product or when you are doing these type of changes. Why? When you are solving a problem, you are coming up with a new solution. Why these things are important?
So to make a change effective, it is very important that customers also know what we are planning to change on in our outlets. Like if customers like it will remove the chaos and confusions that will be happen while dealing with it.
Exactly. So customer education is also important because otherwise they are not able to appreciate your solution. They are not able to utilize, they are not able to leverage your solution. So be very careful when you are coming up with a solution. Always do a pilot, always do a training to your customers or to your users. And that's a component of your check, whether they understand how to run on a new process or an improved process with new solution. See on a lighter note this video.
Visa check card. Because money shouldn't slow you down. Life takes faster money.
Is this video also a problem solving video? Does this Visa card solve any problem for customers?
Yes, sir, it saves time.
Why?
Makes
What
the
is the
life
problem?
faster.
Makes the life faster, or they will reduce the delay?
Yeah, the delay I meant.
It's effective.
Effective.
Alternative for money.
Okay. 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 I think the root cause identification, I told you guys that identify the possible root causes by drawing a fishbone diagram. We call that as a cause and effect diagram. Why we use a word called fishbone? The head of the fish is always a effect, which is your problem. And then you start asking people to put the root causes based on the themes, like any root cause related to people, paste it here. So any root cause RC1, why this RC1 is because of RC2, why this RC2 is because of RC3. So it's like a very complex branching, and this is how you come up with a fishbone diagram. It's a Japanese tool invented by a person called Koru Ishikawa, also known as Ishikawa diagram, commonly known as cause and effect diagram. This will help you to come up with a root causes or possible causes. So possible causes means these causes have a potential to lead to a problem. There is a failure mode effect diagram, effect analysis, which is invented by Ford. FMEA, and that's a very, very effective tool today being used by many practitioners. Whether it's a policy deployment, even in governments of US, they are using this. Department of Defense is using heavily FMEA in their risk analysis. Anyone who is interested in acquiring a risk professional certification, this is actually one of the preferred tool for them. Anyone wants to go for ISO 31000 certified risk professional, this is one of the tool you need to learn on. Okay. And trust me, this tool is having a book of 352 pages, just one tool. So it's not that easy to just learn this tool as a template. It will tell you failure mode effect analysis. And if you think, I'll give you one very good example. How many of you know how to make a tea? Okay, what's the first step to make a tea? First process step to make a tea?
Boiling water.
Boiling water.
Very good. So if that is an activity, can anyone tell me what's the expected outcome when you boil the tea? Oh, boil the water. What's the expected outcome of that? Expectation क्या है उससे जब आप boil करते हो तो?
The bubbling should be there when it is almost boiled.
क्या टेम्परेचर? अभी मुझे अगर प्रोसेस बनाना है तो मुझे उसके कुछ पैरामीटर लिखने पड़ेंगे ना कि इस टेम्परेचर तक पहुंच जाए.
100 डिग्री सेल्सियस.
100 डिग्री.
डिग्री तक. चलो 100 डिग्री पे वैसे स्टीम बन जाएगा, थोड़ा नीचे आते हैं 80 डिग्री तक, क्योंकि 100 कर दिया तो वो स्टीम बन के उड़ जाएगा.
Yes, sir. 80 degree.
80 डिग्री तक रख लेते हैं फॉर द सेफ साइड, विच इज ओके. अब मुझे बताइए कितने ऐसे मोड्स हैं जिसमें आप मुझे बोलेंगे कि ये फेल हो गया, वी आर नॉट एबल टू अचीव दैट. हाउ मेनी डिफरेंट मोड्स वी हैव? मुझे पानी बॉयल करना था, आपने कहा अप्रोक्सीमेटली 80 डिग्री तक करना था. कितने मोड्स हैं या कितने वेरिएंट्स हैं जिसमें आप ये बोलेंगे कि दीपक आपका जो प्रोसेस आउटपुट है वो फेल हो गया? अगर वो 80 से ज्यादा बॉयल हो गया तो क्या होगा?
Steam.
It will evaporate.
तो पानी के कंटेंट का क्या होगा, मतलब चाय के टेस्ट पे क्या इंपैक्ट पड़ेगा अगर ज्यादा बॉयल हो गया तो? भाई आपने 4 लोगों के लिए बनानी थी, आपने ज्यादा बॉयल.
Sir, as such taste नहीं change होगा, but water will get reduced. Like कम हो जाएगा
तो
चाय.
क्वांटिटी पे फर्क पड़ा?
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Does it impact customers? क्या सबके
Yes,
इससे कम
sir.
कम
Of
चाय
course.
आएगी?
Yes,
Of course, sir.
इस प्रॉब्लम का, ये जो आप प्रॉब्लम बोल रही हैं कि क्वांटिटी विल बी लेस नाउ, उसकी सिवियरिटी क्या है, मतलब कस्टमर उसको कैसे परसीव करेगा? सिवियरिटी ऑन अ स्केल ऑफ 1 to 10, वेयर 10 मींस सिवियरिटी ऑफ डेथ, कोई मर जाएगा। तो इस स्केल पे, और 1 मींस नो नो प्रॉब्लम, कुछ भी हो जाए कस्टमर को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होने वाली। तो 1 इज दैट एंड 10 इज हाईली सिवियर।
So something between 3 to 5.
3 to 5, ओके, वेरी गुड। अब आपने कम बॉईल किया पानी 80 डिग्री से, विच इज ऑल्सो अ फेलियर, क्योंकि आपने 80 तक लाना था।
Yes, sir.
तो अब 80 से नीचे किया तो क्या प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी?
Quantity will increase.
The taste, it will affect the taste.
एग्जैक्टली। सो दो दो देखिए, दोनों प्रॉब्लम है जो दोनों आपने बोला। इसीलिए मैं कहता हूं कि आइडिया सुनो और आइडिया लिख लो। क्वांटिटी कम होगी तो क्वांटिटी का तो सेम इम्पैक्ट है 3 to 5, इज दैट करेक्ट?
Yes, sir.
भाई क्वांटिटी ज्यादा हो गई तो भी प्रॉब्लम होगी, तो वो कहेंगे कि इतनी ज्यादा कौन पिएगा, 3 से 4 का उसका इम्पैक्ट है। लेकिन अब टेस्ट खराब हो गया, इसकी क्या सिवेरिटी है इस प्रॉब्लम की?
Sir, more
6
than
to 8.
6.
मोर देन 6।
Yes, sir.
तो आपने मुझे फेलियर मोड बता दिए हैं कि पानी को बॉईल करने के भी 2 फेलियर मोड हैं, तीसरा फेलियर मोड भी हो सकता है। है कोई फेलियर मोड तीसरा?
Maybe the color of the tea.
आपने पानी बॉईल ही नहीं किया, क्यों? रूट कॉज क्या है उसका? गैस जलाना
नहीं आता।
भूल गए, और या गैस खत्म हो गया था। तो अब आप क्या कर रहे हो, बेसिकली आपने एक प्रोसेस स्टेप मुझे बोला, लेट्स गो हेयर। आपने मुझे एक प्रोसेस स्टेप बोला, उसके मल्टीपल फेलियर मोड्स मुझे बताए आपने, उनकी आपने मुझे सिवियरिटी बताई कि ये कितने सिवियर हैं, और इन फेलियर मोड्स के क्या रूट कॉजेज होंगे? आपने क्यों ज्यादा बॉईल कर दिया पानी, क्या रूट कॉज हो सकता है? आप
Maybe
YouTube
the
देख रहे थे,
temperature was high.
Might be doing something else.
एग्जैक्टली मल्टीटास्किंग कर रहे थे आप, एक पॉसिबल कॉज हो सकता है मल्टीटास्किंग। तो आपने कहा एक कॉज आ गया मेरे पास, और कोई कॉज क्यों ज्यादा बॉईल कर दिया आपने?
Might be forgot the using the note.
तो आप एक ये हो सकता है कि आपने रॉन्ग अजम्पशन कर ली कि पानी बॉईल हो गया होगा, सो इनकरेक्ट मेजरमेंट कि पानी बॉईल हो चुका है,
Yes,
या
sir.
जजमेंट, या
Yes.
इनकरेक्ट जजमेंट होगी आपकी। और कोई रूट कॉज?
Sir, temperature might be high.
टेम्परेचर माइट बी हाई, वेरी गुड। तो अब इन रूट कॉजेस की मुझे अकरेंस बता दीजिए कि अगर आपने पिछले 100 बार चाय बनाई होगी, 100 बार में से कितनी बार ऐसा हुआ कि पानी ज्यादा बॉयल हुआ, और उसमें जो रूट कॉज था वो था कि आप मल्टीटास्किंग कर रहे थे। आउट ऑफ दिस 100, अगेन यू हैव टू यूज अ स्केल ऑफ 1 to 10, वेयर 1 मींस कि आपने 50% टाइम में ये केस आया होगा, और 10 के केस में है कि, सॉरी, 10 के केस में है 50%, 1 के केस में है कि जैसे आपका एक आया है इन 1 मिलियन। आपने 1 मिलियन बार चाय बनाई होगी, उसमें से एक बार ही अकर किया होगा, और 10 का है मतलब 1 इन ऑल 2 केसेस, 50%। तो अगर ये स्केल है आपका, तो आप कहाँ रेट करेंगी इसको इन टर्म्स ऑफ अकरेंसेस?
3 to 4.
ओके, चलो 4 ले लेते हैं। ये भी आपका 5 था, 3 to 5 जब आपने बोला था। और सपोज आप बोल रहे हैं कि मैंने गलत जजमेंट ले लिया कि पानी बॉयल हो गया होगा, और मैंने ज्यादा बॉयल कर दिया, तो मैंने थोड़ा लेट जजमेंट किया, गलत जजमेंट।
6 to 8.
6 to 8, वेरी गुड। तो 8 ले लेते हैं। अच्छा, अब इन्हीं पे चलते हैं। अगर आप मल्टीटास्किंग कर रही हैं, क्या मल्टीटास्किंग की डिटेक्टेबिलिटी आज, कि आप मल्टीटास्किंग करते हुए चाय ना बनाएं, या मल्टीटास्किंग करते हुए आप दोनों टास्क को बराबर मॉनिटर करें, क्या कोई ऐसा टूल है? या जैसे आप लोग वो बनाते हैं ना, अलार्म क्लॉक रख देते हैं कि मुझे 10 मिनट बाद जाके एक बार चेक करना है, वो प्रोमोडो क्लॉक आप लोगों ने देखी होगी, टमाटर वाले शेप की रहती है,
Yes, sir.
तो वो कई लोग यूज करते हैं अभी आज की डेट में। सो आपका आज का डिटेक्टेबिलिटी मेथड क्या है उसका, कि मैं ये रूट कॉज को डिटेक्ट कर पाऊं, या इस प्रॉब्लम को मैं डिटेक्ट कर पाऊं, क्या है? और इस प्रॉब्लम को डिटेक्ट कर पाए रॉन्ग जजमेंट को, तो तो आपका आज का करंट मेथड क्या है कि आप ये बता सके कि 80 डिग्री आ गया है, हाथ डालेंगे, थर्मामीटर डालेंगे, क्या करेंगे, स्टीम की अमाउंट देखेंगे। एंड हाउ डू यू थिंक दिस डिटेक्टेबिलिटी मेथड इज रोबस्ट? क्या ये करेक्ट आंसर दे सकता है?
The thermometer.
थर्मामीटर डालते हो आप? रियल वर्ल्ड में बताना मुझे
सर
कि
टाइम
या आप क्या बोलते हो कि मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है तो मैं बस देख लेती हूँ कि स्टीम उड़ रही है ज्यादा तो हो गया होगा,
Say experience.
या बुलबुले ज्यादा आ रहे हैं तो हो गया होगा टेम्परेचर। तो क्या वो एक करेक्ट डिटेक्टेबिलिटी मैकेनिज्म है?
No, sir.
तो दैट मीन्स योर डिटेक्टेबिलिटी इज पुअर। तो डिटेक्टेबिलिटी में भी अब आप मुझे नंबर देंगी 1 to 10। 10 will be poor detectability and 1 will be it's easily detectable। इसका मतलब ये है कि जो भी आप आज करंट एक्सपीरियंस यूज कर रही हैं कि 80 डिग्री आ गया होगा, दैट्स अ पुअर डिटेक्टेबिलिटी, आप पता ही नहीं कर सकती। और इजीली डिटेक्टेबल मींस बहुत इजी है, अब मैं हर बार सही मारती हूँ उसका आंसर। तो अगर आप बुलबुले देख के बोल रही हैं कि 80 डिग्री आ गया होगा, डिटेक्टेबिलिटी क्या है उस मेजरमेंट सिस्टम की? 80 डिग्री आ गया होगा, आपको पता है कि कितने बुलबुले निकल गए होंगे, कितना अमाउंट ऑफ स्टीम बाहर आ गया होगा जिस पे आप एक्सपीरियंस कर रही हैं 80 आ गया होगा। कई लोग कहते हैं कि 10 मिनट में 80 डिग्री पहुंच जाता है पानी का, तो हो गया होगा। सो ऑल दीज आर गेस वर्क। तो डिटेक्टेबिलिटी विल बी पुअर। तो पुअर मींस आपका, सपोज कीजिए मैं यहां डाल देता हूं 7, आपने कहा 5 into 8 into 7, क्या नंबर आया आपके पास? 5 into 8 40 into 7
280.
280। तो ये 280 इज योर रिस्क प्रायोरिटी नंबर। अब सपोज कीजिए ऊपर वाले का रिस्क प्रायोरिटी नंबर आता है 150। तो कौन सा रिस्क बड़ा है मेरे लिए जिसका मुझे एक्शन आइटम निकालना है? और इस पर्टिकुलर रिस्क को मिटिगेट करने के लिए कौन से ऐसे रूट कॉजेज हैं जिन पे मैं काम करूं, या कौन से ऐसे मेजरमेंट सिस्टम है जिनको मैं इंप्रूव करूं? सो इज इट क्लियर? ये बहुत बहुत ही एक्सटेंसिव टूल है, और इसको आप लाइफ के किसी भी एरिया में यूज कर सकते हैं। पीपल आर यूजिंग इट इनटू देयर पर्सनल लाइफ फॉर डूइंग एफएमई। फेलियर मोड, मैं कहाँ फेल हो रहा हूँ, मेरे कहाँ मेरी पढ़ाई खराब हो रही है। हम इवन आई एम रिकमेंडिंग टू स्टूडेंट्स, आई एम टीचिंग टू एनएसयूटी, आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो। Okay, my college is NSUT. I am from NSUT. 2002 batch. Do you guys know NSUT or NSIT? Anyone?
Yes.
What is NSIT? We are also part of your same university, University of Delhi. Okay, but we are from engineering division. So हमने वहां पे ये सब चीजें की हैं, हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में हमें फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मिल जाती थी। So key causes to address prioritization matrix, force field diagram, scatter plot, checklist. Checklist is very important. Have you seen any checklist? And you guys are okay. Pre-COVID, when you go to your restrooms in your campus, have you seen there is a checklist pasted by someone which is having tick mark that daily they have checked this, daily they have refilled the soap solution, daily they have cleaned the floor, daily they have done that. How does that thing help? And that's a checklist. Have you seen this checklist sometime in your restroom? किसी होटल में आप गए हो जहां पे आपने दरवाजे के पीछे देखा हो, जब वो दरवाजा बंद हो जाता है वहां एक चेकलिस्ट लगा रहता है। एंड हाउ दीज चेकलिस्ट आर इंपॉर्टेंट, इट्स एक्चुअली वन ऑफ द वे टू कलेक्ट डेटा। अब ये डेटा क्या कलेक्ट कर रहे हो आप? सपोज मैंने कहा कि कस्टमर की कंप्लेंट आई है कि यार रेस्ट रूम से बहुत स्मेल आती है, ठीक है, रेस्ट रूम इज वेरी वेरी डर्टी। तो इस डेटा से करूंगा क्या मैं? इस डेटा से क्या करूंगा मैं?
We will
अगर वो
get to know whether it's cleaned or not, like
वेरी गुड,
once in the day.
वेरी गुड। सो क्या आप रूट कॉज की तरफ रीच करने की कोशिश कर रही हैं डेटा को पढ़ के कि वो इन 30 days, इन लास्ट 30 days वो 15 days क्लीन ही नहीं हुआ था. क्यों? क्योंकि वहां पे टिक नहीं है.
Yes, sir.
एक पॉसिबिलिटी है. दूसरी पॉसिबिलिटी ये है कि भाई 30 days इट हैज बीन क्लीन्ड, बट फिर भी गंदा है. तो क्या मुझे फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ानी चाहिए? या लोगों का रश ज्यादा था तो वो गंदे कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि अब इसी डेटा से आपको पता लगेगा ना कि हो क्या रहा है सिस्टम में, कैसे ये रूट कॉज एंटर कर गया जिसकी वजह से ये प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, और वो है क्या वो रूट कॉज. क्लियर? any questions anyone has? Then you go to generating a solution. सॉल्यूशन कैसे निकालते हैं? मैंने कुछ क्वेश्चंस बताए थे आपको भी एक्सेल फाइल के. मेरे पास एक रूट कॉज आ गया है कि मेरे पास ट्रेनिंग प्लान नहीं है लोगों का, तो मैं स्किल नहीं बढ़ा सकता. मेरा सर्वर बार बार डाउन हो रहा है. क्या सॉल्यूशन निकालूं इसका? आप मेरे से क्वेश्चन पूछेंगी हाउ यू वांट टू डेवलप अ ट्रेनिंग प्लान और हाउ यू वांट टू इंप्रूव अ स्किल ऑफ अ पर्सन. मेरा आंसर होगा ट्रेनिंग प्लान. सपोज मैं स्किल बढ़ाने के लिए ट्रेनिंग प्लान बनाना चाहता हूं. योर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू मी विल बी, दीपक, हाउ ट्रेनिंग प्लान इज गोइंग टू हेल्प मी, एंड सेकंड क्वेश्चन, हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू डेवलप इट. First thing, how it is going to help me, because it will clearly tell me that where are the gaps or where are the skill gaps between each of the person going to join my team, and how I'm going to develop by involving HR. How are you going to involve HR, and how are you going to identify the gaps in the skill of each person? ये अब एक बड़ा क्वेश्चन है. So in this way, you are actually telling me, Deepak, to develop a training plan, these are the action items you need to carry out. How? कैसे करोगे आप ये? क्या करोगे आप? So that's the way you need to identify solutions. It can be a very weird solution these days, which are utilizing your design thinking concepts, and that's what I actually prepared for students. This is for students actually, and the approach we call it as I don't know how many of you know, it's a design thinking approach, where you use almost, I think, 8 weeks of time for coming up with an innovative solution which is viable, which is feasible, which is reliable. So we need to ideate. So this is what I think the tools we use normally for each of these workshops we conduct. There are templates. Okay, so that's how we do ideation using design thinking. And then finally, you should act on that implementation and follow up. You obtain the authority to implement the solution, training to the people on the change made, changing the execution and an execution document. Your SOPs need to be updated, your process documents, your checklist, your process maps, everything impacted should be updated. Establish a new measurement system which can help you to measure the improved situation of your problem. So these are the things, and I think I have given you, this is the selection criteria. So please be very careful when you are only dealing with numerical data and dealing with verbal data, surveys, feedback, verbal data, no numbers are there. So which set of tools you guys are supposed to use? When you are dealing with numbers, which set of tools you are going to use? So 7QC tool is a very old concept. There are 7 quality control tools called checklist, Pareto, histogram, scatterplot, cause and effect, control charts, and flow diagram. And you will get a good literature on website called, if you guys can go, ASQ. So this is a website where you can go and find 7QC tools, and you will find the templates also, Excel templates, which you guys can use. It's a free to use for education purposes, and you guys can download those things. Okay. So you can go here. It's an article written. So these are the Excel templates of all those 7 QC tool. There are books also, but it is little expensive. So my recommendation, don't go and buy the books. There are ample books you will find in your library or in your universities, in your management school section. I'll recommend that. And you can download these template for your use or your practice. Okay. If you want, I can just paste this thing in your, how can I access chat? Sorry. Okay, I'm just pasting that thing in chat. Okay, so I think that's it from my side. There is another set of tool which we call it as 7MP tools. So that's for a verbal data. When you have more of a verbal data rather than numerical data, we use these advanced 7QC tools. Sometimes we call it as, where we are dealing with only verbal data, affinity diagram, interrelationship diagram, prioritization matrix. Same way, if you go to ASQ website, you will find 7 management and planning tools there as well. Six Sigma and Lean is something which I am practicing for last 20 years. And I have worked with majority organizations. I worked with the organizations of repute like India Gate Basmati Rice. I worked with Apollo Hospital. I worked with Bharti Airtel. I worked as an employee in organizations like Infosys, IBM, where these tools have been leveraged. I worked for their clients in domain of banking, retail, agriculture, supply chain. So everywhere you can use these tools. Learning for you guys is more with respect to, I should say, do you see any area where problem solving is not applicable? If suppose I will go and do a Google, Six Sigma is not good for any industry other than manufacturing, because manufacturing has come up with Six Sigma. So this is the method Six Sigma: defining the problem, measuring the problem, analyzing the problem, improving the problem, and controlling the problem. We call this as a DMAC approach. But many people counter this thing with me saying that Deepak, Six Sigma is only good for manufacturing industry. So what is your thought now after having a 2-hour long session? Any area, any domain, any business where you see this cannot be applicable? Okay, I'll give you one problem to solve. Can you guys improve your annual score in your exam by 10%? I'm not asking that everyone should reach 90%. That's a very, very unrealistic goal for someone. I am asking from wherever you guys are, if I want to give you a problem statement, how to improve everyone's score by 10%. How will you do that? Or do you think, Deepak, this is a wrong problem you have given me? Or do you think this is not a problem? I hope everyone is there with me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is it a valid problem, or do you think that this is not a valid problem? For practicing, pick up any problem. Pick up any problem. Start using this tool and see what are the results. How many of you are coming from same college, or is it same university, or is it a group of practitioners?
Most of us are from same college.
Same college. And how many different colleges are here in this group? No, why I'm asking, because it's better that you guys form a group as a problem solving groups within this practice. Pick up one problem, go out. There is a problem that the bus is not stopping on this bus stand. There is a problem, and you can start collecting data that in last 1 month I have seen that between 2 to 5 this number bus is never stopping here. Find the root cause, find the something. I'm not asking only solve this problem. Pick up any problem, but go out. Go out and see that who are the customers for that problem. What are they facing? Pick up your own personal problem. Pick up, like I told you, the exam score. See that where are the challenges. Is it the quality of knowledge, quality of content you are reading? Is it the time of the content you are reading? It is that you are doing lesser discussion, you are only doing individual study? Is it that you are not able to understand the concept by this book? So do you need more resources? Do you need more intervention with your professor? Do you need more practical knowledge on these things? What is the problem? And this is how you need to learn. Try these methods on yourself. Fail pass is a secondary thing. Try this thing experiment on you, and then only you are able to appreciate whether this is going to work in future or not. So that's it from my side, and my message is also same for you. For achieving excellence, daily solve one problem. So irrespective of magnitude, daily try to solve one problem and your life will be easy. So that's it from my side. I'm open for question answer if you guys have for me.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed an informative session. We will now proceed to answering the queries of audience.
Yeah.
Please post your questions in the chat box. Your doubts will be answered accordingly.
So can I stop my sharing and you will share your screen?
Yes, so you
Yes,
can
sir.
stop sharing.
Okay. Okay. Anyone has any question there? Yes, buying vanilla. Okay. No questions or all clear or all clear? So it's just a difference of 1 inch. Either it has went here or either it has went from above.
No, sir, the session was really very insightful, and I truly agree with your statement. Like, we should, do the problem solving thing, and that's how we can go ahead with the innovation. Otherwise, innovation wouldn't be able to take place.
What is innovation?
So,
That's again
innovation.
another jargon people are using. What's innovation? First tell me that. Everyone want to be innovative, but what's innovation?
So, basically, trying to solve the problems and coming up with the new solutions.
So then what's the difference between problem solving and innovation?
Innovation can be thinking different, solving the same problem with different concept.
Always look, innovation is something which I told you na, that in my presentation for design thinking, solution should be viable, and people who are looking to start a company, viability is of utmost importance, whether client or a person who is facing a problem is ready to buy your solution or not. I want you guys to go back into history, and it is not very very far back. I am asking you, how many of you have heard about Google Glasses? Have you heard about that product, Google Glasses? Anyone? Go and search on Google. Google Glasses was a product which has actually failed at this point in time. It's a very innovative product. It is a wearable. It's glasses you can wear on your eyes, and one lens is actually a computer screen, and it is having a battery and a 8 GB RAM or a memory where you can install Linux and you can do all computing when you are driving. It's having a camera which can record. The problem is that it's not a viable solution because people who are facing a problem is not interested in paying 1500 US dollar for this solution. Good idea, innovative idea. You are giving me something to wear which can record, which can do many things, but I'm not interested in buying that solution in 1500. I'm happy to live with that problem for long. So their innovation is not there. I beg to differ. Innovation is not there. So that's why the product went off from the shelf very soon. And now no one is buying. They have stopped production. So innovation is something which is the sellable invention. Remember this word. Invention is a new idea, a rule breaking idea. Breaking your older myths and older thought, changing the mindset. And you guys should know what is mindset. How many of you, when going to a college, and tell me true, how many of you, when you used to go to your campus, actually walk on a grass which is not supposed to be walked on to reach to your building?
Many of us has not visited the college yet.
Yet, okay, in your schools? And I will see that, okay, the path is somewhere else, but there is a ground which is not having any grass and people are walking on that. That's a mindset. And why people have picked up that path? Because they want to reach to the building within the shortest possible time. So that's a mindset. Speed breaker. People didn't stop or reduce the speed on speed breaker. They find the broken part of the speed breaker so that they didn't want to reduce the speed. That's the mindset we have. And we have to change that. That's innovation. I think Khushbu was there, na? Khushbu? Innovation? We'll discuss that thing sometime else, because innovation is again another animal which you need to control. Problem solving first, I think you should start working on. And innovation is something, yes, it's very, very important for you guys to become an entrepreneur, to come up with the new ideas, and you guys have potential. Yeah, Khushbu? Any other questions you guys have? So I'll forward this presentation to Rishika. Or
Sure, sir. And then we'll get the PPTs mailed to the
mail
past.
to everyone. Okay. Questions? Problem solving or problem is solved?
So I believe there are no questions as of now.
Okay. Okay. So thanks everyone for giving me time.
So, sir, can we proceed to vote of thanks? Hello, sir.
You are asking me?
Yes, sir.
Gitanjali, please do. Please go ahead.
Okay. The Institution Innovation Council and I have extended sincere gratitude to Mr. Deepak Rustagi for delivering this session today and enlightening us about upscaling problem-solving skills and giving us basic insights of ideation. Thank you for taking out the time from your busy schedule and joining us. We are grateful for the learning experience that you provided. We extend our deepest thanks to our principal, ma'am, Dr. Paramago, for being our pillar of support and strength. We would like to extend our heartiest thanks to all the teachers for their constant support and motivation. Last but not the least, we would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the audience for showing your keen interest in this webinar. We hope it provides you with a great learning outcome. So at last, I request you all to switch on your cameras. Everyone, please switch on your cameras. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed an insightful session.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for giving me the time for this, and I think I really enjoyed the participation of you guys. Um it is always good to teach. I think what I have learned in my professional life, and uh, it's always a legacy which I need to hand over to you as a upcoming generation. That's the reason I always give a guest lecture to my own university for new product development and new idea generation, because they are also we also have our incubation center there in NSUT, where we are working on, I think, 8 or 15 startups in that university. So anytime you think that okay, we need anything on innovation or something else, let me know. We can arrange for a session for that as well.
Sure, sir.
And it should be better that if you do a joint session with these tech school people as well, the e-school engineering school. Reason being, if you work in a silo, being in this group, you will lose on the cross skilling and cross knowledge what they possess. Something they are good in, something you are good in. So that gelling needs to be there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thanks everyone. Thanks for your time and patience.